Einen wunderschönen guten Tag. Ihr seht das 5. Video-Interview von Maeglinsblog und Nina von Radioaktiv Laut. Und ich habe heute mich eingeladen bei Dave Hause im Backstage. Und den habe ich das erste Mal 2011 gesehen, als er bei der Revival-Tour gespielt hat. Und da kam ich raus, ich hatte ein Interview mit Chuck Reagan, kam raus. Das war in der Kirche und er saß dort und hat Klavier gespielt in einer leeren Kirche. Und das werde ich immer in guter Erinnerung behalten. Deshalb Dave Hause und wir werden jetzt ein bisschen über die Tour und sein neues Album schnacken. Hello Dave, I just said that the first time I saw you was on the Revival Tour with Chuck and Ryan, and that was in a church in Wiesbaden. Oh, yeah. And it was amazing because I came out of the backstage. I had an interview with Chuck, and I came out, and you were in the empty church playing the piano, and that was a really magical moment. Do you remember that?
I do. Yeah, that was the second show on the Revival tour that we did in a church, in a converted church. And so the first one was in Amsterdam, and it was we didn't quite know how to do the show for a church, you know. So by the time we got to Ringkirch, which was bigger and more of a beautiful church, we kind of knew what we were doing. And that piano, I really don't know how to play, and I just took a risk and practiced and shakily went up and did that one song. And yeah, that was a magic night. That was a magic tour, you know. It was a really special tour and exciting, and it really pushed me along on the path that I've been on over here, you know, touring and stuff. And that particular show was very, very memorable, and you know, a lot of people that went to that show have said that, you know, it was one of their favorite shows that they've seen, and it was the same for us up there. We were like, whoa, this is cool. So yeah, I love that show. It is, and Wiesbaden's not far from here, right?
No, it's like 1 hour.
Oh, it's an hour. Okay.
Half an hour.
Okay.
It's not far away. Mm-hmm. Talking about your tour right now, that's your headliner tour, and so it's almost over, right? How did it go?
It's the German dates are almost over. We're about, I guess we have 3 more. One, two, is it 3? It's Frankfurt, Munich, Stuttgart. That's it. Yeah. It's been amazing. Last night was at a club called Gloria in Cologne, and it was the biggest headline show I've ever played. It was to the most people. It was sold out. The energy was amazing. And the shows in the north were great. And you know, I did Bremen and Hanover and Hamburg, and they were all great. It's been amazing. Yeah, it's been a really big jump for me, and I kind of have I've been working on the show before I came over here, with knowing that the shows were going to be a bigger deal, and it's paid off. It's been really good, really exciting.
That's cool. And you brought an awesome support. I'm really excited to see him play live tonight, but I think he is not that popular in Germany yet. Will you tell our audience who you brought and why you brought him?
Yeah, I brought my friend Matt, who he runs his solo thing under the moniker of Northcote, and there he's in there. He's eating a video cassette in there. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he's a wonderful human being. Actually, when I first started doing solo stuff outside of the Loved Ones, which was my old band, he had started doing solo stuff outside of his band, and he was in a hardcore band called Means in Canada, and a booking agent called me and asked if I was willing to go on a tour with him from Montreal all the way to Vancouver, which is, you know, almost as wide as Canada is. It's 3/4 of Canada driving across. It was a huge tour, and I didn't know him. I'd never heard his music, and we hopped in a car together, never having met, and went out on this tour, and it could have been a disaster, you know, as you can imagine, but it was wonderful. We had a lot of laughs and got to know each other really quickly, and the way that he was performing acoustically taught me kind of a lot about how to do it, you know, because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was used to playing in a rock setting, and or a louder setting. So I kind of learned a bunch from him, and we've been sort of learning from each other over the years. And when it came time to headline, he made this wonderful new record called North Code. It's a self-titled record. And he really has played most of his shows in Canada. And it's time that he gets out into the world and gets over here. There's an amazing audience to play to in Germany and the rest of Europe and the UK. And so I'm really honored and proud to bring him. And I think people have really responded to what he's doing. And we work well together. We travel well, lots of fun in the van and stuff. So it's been great.
Talking about supporting other bands, you supported the Gaslight Anthem and Social Distortion. Now, after your big headline tour, would you say I will never go back to supporting other bands because I like this one so much, like the headlining, or would you still do some support for other bands?
I'll still do some support. I think it's important to push yourself and push the audience, and the idea of getting to open for someone else is you get to play to their audience, and it's typically bigger than yours, and that's the strategy behind it, and it's paid off. So it would be foolish to never do it again. I mean, I love headlining, and that's what you want, to make yourself someone who can headline. You want to write songs like that, and you don't want to constantly be relying on someone else's audience. You want to make your own. But you go back and forth, and I think long term I would like to just be a headliner, but there's lots of growth and lots of things you can do. There's plenty of people I would love to play with, and so I think I'll do a little bit of each.
So if you could pick any band, dead or alive, to be an opener for, which band would you pick?
Any band, dead or alive?
Yeah.
I probably would open for the Beatles. I mean, it would be amazing. Or Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Yeah, those would probably be the two I'd be the most excited about.
Yeah, that would be a good combination, you and Tom Petty.
Let him know when you interview him that he should take me out. Yeah. Yeah, shoot him a text.
When touring, what do you miss most about the US? Because I talked to a lot of English, like British musicians, and most of them say Marmite. Do you know Marmite?
I do. What I miss from the US right now, I just moved to California, so I haven't really been dealing with the cold weather that I'm used to on the East Coast, so I miss the weather. I miss my friends and my family, and I love touring. I love being able to play music with, and have people respond to it and do it I prefer to play live over, the studio and stuff like that. But, so I try to balance it so that I don't really miss too much, like I'm gone for about a month and then I go back and see my people. And so, but it's the people.
Okay, so the usual stuff, yeah.
No specific material thing. Usually you can kind of get food and sleep and water and beer if you're on tour. It's pretty easy.
Okay, let's talk about records. Not your records, but record in general, because the year's almost over. What were your favorite records of 2013?
My favorite record of the year is Pedestrian Verse, the Frightened Rabbit record. It's amazing. I got it on a tour I did with Flogging Molly. I was riding in a van with this band Skinny Lister that was also supporting them, and I was just a little uncertain of how I was going to make my record, and it wasn't fully together in my head, and I had to go into the studio after that tour and make the record. And I heard Pedestrian Verse and I was like, oh, and it gave me just such a good confidence and inspiration to make Devour. It's my favorite record of the year. I love that record. I love the Nationals record, Trouble Will Find Me. Patty Griffin put out a record this year that I really love. I'm trying to think of who else released records. There's 3 or 4. Yeah, that I really liked. I like Jason Isbell's record a lot. He made a record called Southeastern that's killer. And Yeah, I think. Oh, the Arcade Fire's record's cool. It's a great one. Mm-hmm.
What did you think about the Pearl Jam record? Because most of the people were so disappointed about it. I liked it actually. So what did you think about it? Did you listen to it?
I did.
You didn't like it?
I like parts of it. I love that band. And Backspacer I thought was maybe their best record. I don't know, but there's certain things about it I like and certain things that didn't really grab me. But it happens.
Let me guess, Sirens.
Sirens. I would prefer to hear Eddie do that song with an acoustic guitar. It just seems a little. It sounds like Jesus music to me. That song, but I like the fast song that they put out. Mind Your Manners, and I like the first song on the record. And there's a couple, but Sirens didn't really do much for me. But what do I know? They're selling out arenas, and But I love that band though. I do. Yeah, I wasn't. Yeah, that's all.
Are there any particular records that you're looking forward to in 2014?
Yeah, I guess. Well, Connor Oberst has been pretty quiet this year and last. He hasn't done a Bright Eyes record or a solo record in a while, so I would imagine he probably has 50 songs and will release 10 records or whatever. And Ryan Adams has been quiet, so maybe those two guys will do something. Jenny Lewis is always great. I hope she makes a record. The new Hold Steady, I'm interested in. I'm excited about that. I think Gaslight's making a new record in a couple months.
Chuck's record is coming out.
I just sang on. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, that's gonna be good. It's an exciting thing. That'll come out in 2014 at some point. Yeah, I just sang on a couple songs out in Los Angeles. Yeah.
How did that go?
It was great. We had a really fun time. Yeah, it was cool.
On the record, you work a lot with this image of the broken American dream kind of thing. Mm-hmm. If you had the choice to live in an earlier time where this American dream was still alive, would you rather live in that era, or would you rather live today and reflect what was going wrong with this idea?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's a hard thing to say. Would you rather live in another era? Not really. I mean, there's things about American politics and the socio-political framework that's there now that are discouraging, that weren't there when I was a kid. There's a bigger chasm between the rich and the poor, and working people have a tougher time. But then there are things about modern life that are cool. I mean, we have iPhones, and there's no, I don't think I would live in a different time. I just think that I'm just with the record, I was trying to figure out where I am and how I got here. And so the beginning part of the record is sort of like where I came from, or what the sort of the place I'm from. And then the middle part of the record is kind of where I'm at, based on being wired that way and being, raised in the Reagan era in a Christian background, and on the East Coast, and all those things are like, hallmarks of why I kind of am the person I am now. And then the end of the record is sort of that silver lining, or at least like the hope that you can go somewhere new and use your creativity and love and being, decent to your fellow man as a way to kind of get out of maybe what could be conceived as a trapped feeling. So, that's, I don't think I'd live in a different era.
Okay, another what if question. If you could have written any one great song of music history, which one would you have written?
Probably I Just Saw a Face by the Beatles. That's a great song, and I mean, I think if I would have written that one, I would make a decent amount of money from it, and I would feel good about how well it's written.
Okay. I think we're done. This is as you said, this is the fourth last show, and then are you going home for Christmas? afterwards?
No, we're going through Europe. We do we do 2 shows in Austria, a show in Italy, a show in Antwerp, and then 4 more UK shows.
So you won't be home for Christmas?
I will be home for Christmas, but I'm missing. Well, we have Thanksgiving on Thursday. I'll miss that. I'll be in Munich, but Thanksgiving, whatever.
And then you guys are going to Canada, right? So you will be touring until February.
America, yeah. Matt and I are going to continue, being together. We're doing a North American tour that's 10.5 weeks long. It starts January 21st in Asbury Park and goes all the way through Canada, all the way around, and ends in Philadelphia on April the 6th. So it's a lot of time together. But I couldn't be happier that Matt was willing to do it, and it's going to be fun.
Cool. Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys play tonight. Thank you for your time.
Yeah,
okay, das war das 5. Video-Interview von Radioaktiv Laut und Maeglinsblog mit Dave Hause. Ich hoffe, es hat euch gefallen und ihr hattet Spaß dabei. Ich bin erstmal raus. Ich bin und werde immer sein Nina. Bis zum nächsten Mal.